Yeah, definitely getting spicy. I'm not gonna call that a safe chance. Will this be the last time that you see nan-alive? Cold. Get some more sticks. The hike in yesterday was a lot cooler than I expected in a lot of different ways, and one easier. I thought if I was going to take the cattle road, I thought it'd be a lot harder than it was, but it was actually much easier walking on the cattle road than I thought it was going to be, and much easier walking on the cattle road than it was walking on the tracks. So that's a good experience there. And plus it was pretty up there, and I came upon a lot of cool stuff. I saw a group of 18 deer, a group of 6 deer, a bunch of dead cows, a fox, some cool spots to camp. Came upon somebody's like swinging bench they made right by the river. I wanted to bring my fishing pole and then hit some fishing holes on the way up, but I wasn't even by the river hardly enough to even see any holes. That would have been a lot more effort and risk going up and down to them on some occasions as well. because I forgot my fishing pole, it was kind of nice to not even look too hard into that consideration. So just be present with the path I was on instead of looking more for something better to do. On the other side of this berm, I could hear the traffic more, and I thought this berm would shelter my fire from the highway, but also the noise of the highway. I can still hear the highway. I don't know how much it's blocking it. It's probably blocking it a lot, but I can still hear it. I got pretty cold in there. My sleeping bag did not do its job like I thought it would. I think it's because it's so old. It was kind of warm enough by my upper body, but somewhere around my thigh or something, when I was on my side where the sleeping bag was kind of compressed into my thigh, that spot would be cold. So I got about 5 miles to my rendezvous point with my trail angel. Alright, so no breakfast this morning. Besides this coffee I made. This EMS, or is this this is an REI base later. Just putting that on made a big difference last night. It was the biggest difference. I think it was maybe more so than this beanie. It seemed to be, which is kind of funny. I woke up in the middle of the night after having those dreams, and then it was super cold, and got the fire going, and that heat going in there was great. I knew it wouldn't last, but I thought about maybe lowering this side to trap it better, but I didn't. A little far away from my shelter to really use the heat without having such a big fire anyway. I usually don't make them that big. Should have been a good route to do with horseback, and also been a good route to do like with maybe a Boy Scout troop or something. Pretty easy, pretty fun, lots to see, pretty safe. Dry this out a little bit. It's going quick. You can see it drying. Wow. Super easy. Huh. This will be the last time stoking the fire up. Just want to be able to thaw out once my hands get cold again from tearing down camp. Oh, this is nice. It's when things are better left alone. Resurrected memories of love that's dead. Digging up bones. My hands are almost thawed enough to get to work. do the work. If you want to stop being racist, you gotta do the work. Right here in the heat of the fire. It's a good spot to do this. Everything's cold out here, so of course my hands start getting slow. But this fire's helping. I specifically made this ridgeline for this trip. Previous ridgelines weren't as bright. I had one that was bright but not reflective, and others that just weren't bright or reflective. And I thought I would be stringing up a hammock across the tracks a couple of times, and I also thought the tracks would be less abandoned than they are. So I figured, you know, if somebody's gonna come through the early morning or something, I want any excuse to not see my ridgeline. Cutting across the track at neck level. But it appears it's very abandoned. I saw the frost that's on my tarp. So I've noticed a little tear right here, and I think I want to fix it. I have time. It might do better wait for the sun to come out and let the sun dry it out. I'm sure that would be better, but that means packing it up twice. Okay, I'll try drying it out here. I really just use this corner for now, but okay, well that's drying. I'll put my guy lines and stakes away. Alright, so while I was there, I got out my first aid repair maintenance kit, and that'll be, yeah, that's dry enough now. That'll be what I'm patching this with. Okay, so I got a tear in it right there in the corner. I'm gonna give this a try, and I'm betting it's gonna be fine. Mine has gotten soaked and isn't as awesome as it would be unsoaked. This stuff is crazy. Big enough. Okay, now that is probably gonna do a pretty good job. Most of the stuff now I actually just stuff now. I just stuff most of my stuff now. It's definitely quicker and arguably easier. This is really slippery, so stuffing this is kind of takes some tactics. It's I guess some skill, because it can pop back out. Or you could stuff a piece in and it comes right back out. You stuff a piece in, it comes right back out, because it's so slippery. But stuffing's a superior way for a lot of stuff, but not everything. And I can tell this is heavier than it normally is because of all the frost that's inside it. Not because of that piece of tape I put on it. So you probably haven't noticed, but one of my hands has been partially numb for a few months now. I mean, the motor nerves are working, but the sensor nerves haven't been, and they're coming back, but it's just not the same. So my grip on it depends on if I'm looking at what I'm doing, because if I have to feel it, I don't feel enough to squeeze right. Or if there's like a certain texture I need to grip, I don't really feel that. So I don't know, just am uncoordinated on this hand, I guess. And then my therapist also proved to me, actually, but calibrated, if you can't feel your limb, your brain actually disassociates with it. So one of the drills I was doing was identifying if I was seeing a picture of a left hand or a right hand, and all of the right hand pictures, I got them like pretty much instantly, and a lot of the left hand pictures I had to like imagine it and coordinate it and kind of compare in my head which it must have been. I was way slower. I mean, I identified all of them accurately, but I was way slower identifying left hands than I was identifying right hands. And then as my sensation came back, I was quicker at it. Still faster on my right hand, but much quicker at identifying a left hand, which is kind of a weird phenomenon. But apparently if your brain doesn't feel it, your brain doesn't like care, I guess, or something like that. So my whatever you call it, my sympathy for my left hand has gone away when I lost the feeling on it or something. But that's makes me not as good with knots and stuff. It's almost like that feeling of the hot water that's just about the edge of your tolerance in the shower. It's like you just don't really want to move because it's calming, but also it might hurt like differently if you move it to a different spot. So you just like let the warmth relax you. That's kind of what this fire feels like. It's cold. It's awesome how fast that dries out. Just by putting the wet pot in the coals, the metal heats up and the water just leaves the inside of the can. It's like anywhere that's like, because I got the bottom of the pan on the coal, the bottom is just evaporating in front of my eyes, and the sidewalls are then dripping down towards the bottom. Yeah, this takes a matter of seconds. Okay. Oh, nice. Oh. It's still a little chilly, but it's not nearly as cold as it was. I'm sure as soon as I start hiking, it'll totally be tolerable. Okay, so there's camp as I left it. I had my line from that tree down to close to the tracks. I slept right there, among those bones actually, and good. Let's see if I can. So it's still a little cold, but we're gonna call it good and start hitting the road. Hi-ho! Here's camp as I left it. This is where my firewood was stacked. That's where my fire was. This is where I slept. This is the tree I tied off to. There's no damage on it. You probably aren't going to be able to find out where I put my tent stakes because I pull them out in a way that doesn't damage the land. Put the fire out with water, stirred it up, stomped it out. Other than that, you're not going to know anybody even camped here. And I'm hitting the road. Let's see if I can zoom in on him. Yep, it's a turkey up the track. He came running down from the hill, and then he just plumed out his feathers. Now he's running towards me. He's back up the hill now. There he is up there, strutting his stuff for the lady. The lady's up in the bushes a little bit to the right, checking him out. There she is. I don't got time to hang out and wait for you guys to do your thing. He's probably focused. Now he's unfocused. Go get her, buddy. It's like some kind of an old train mounting station. Maybe just a museum now. The switch house, established 1912. Cool. That old lantern. Oh, it's open. Sweet. Mercantile. It is not open. Fur hats. Oh, this is some kind of a museum. Some rattlesnake skins. Doe in the spring. Oh, this is the old glass. It's slowly melting. You can see the warp shapes through it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a museum for sure. Cool. The Push'ems are $1. The Bomb Pop Junior's $1. From Schwann's. Awesome. Awesome. There's a facade for an old building. Just a little mine shaft. No, it's just a fake. It's pretty sturdy wood. It's like access down to the river there. This place is cool. Hey bud, you guard dog, you got that mean growl, you got the big barks, oh you're soft, you are kept clean, good one. Well that could have turned out different. There's 3 dogs barking and one of them approached and it was friendly, but the one with the get the fuck out of here bark for some reason didn't approach. This is a skull or a piece of a skull. I'm not sure what from. The round top is kind of big. There's no crest. I suppose it could be a bear, but not all bears have a crest.
I'm just going to leave it and saunter and wonder as I wander.
A lot of fun rapids down there if you're into that kind of stuff. They're big.
This place is important to remember. It seems like a really good spot to set up a campsite. I rested on this rock and had a snack. Now I'm verifying that I'm leaving no trace before I continue my journey.
Might it be a grave? This would be the hammock spot. That would be another hammock spot, and that would make that the fire spot. Access into the woods there. Another little trestle. Fetch water off of this thing. That's actually a really good spot. I'm sure this water isn't flowing all year either though. I think that retaining wall is the cattle road, and I kind of want to go up there and walk along that instead of these tracks, even though these tracks is way nicer than the previous stuff, because I'll probably end up getting into some thickets again. I won't if I stay down here on the tracks, and I'm not sure how far I got before I need to get back down to the river level for a bridge. But I don't know if I'm going to get cliffed out and stuff. Okay, so here's my spot. Probably cut up diagonal that way. So a cool thing happened a bit ago. So maybe 2.5 or 3 miles before where I camped, I got some kind of a twinge in my knee. It was kind of like, you know, light bothering, basically telling me to stop being so rough with the weight and the agility requirement. But of course I, you know, kept trekking. I did take it easier, but I didn't stop. And it was still feeling the same this morning. And then just a moment ago, after I got back onto the tracks, it just popped back in place. It's been totally fine. It feels like a big relief. Yeah, so that's kind of got a lucky break there. But this hard angle, I can tell, is either wanting to agitate it or it's fatigued from trying to keep stable all that time. There's the retaining wall. Probably get up to it right there. Trying to not slip on these pine needles. I'm trying to not put a sheer angle on my knee like that, but I just had to. I'm trying to keep my weight kind of over my feet and not let it get behind me or beside me. And here's hey.
Right on, man. Well, I appreciate it. You enjoy yourself out here. What are you doing out here?
Just fucking off.
Heck yeah, dude.
So I started in. I'm gonna try to make it.
That's great, man. Well, enjoy that. Okay, I'm sure you will.
You're more than halfway now, right?
I think this is about halfway.
Yeah.
I did 16 miles the first day. I ate at that restaurant.
Yeah.
And I was so fucking sore.
Heck yeah.
I was walking in like I had shit in my pants.
Yeah. Can't beat that meal though, right? That meal is a good meal.
Yeah, I got there.
Awesome, man.
And because of the snow up there, I'll probably just call this done for this trip because I'm not really ready for snow.
Yeah.
You're doing better than us. We're about to drive to that bridge and
start
scouting around there.
And how do you get through those, like those private property spots?
I stay on the tracks.
Just stay on the tracks,
Yeah.
nobody bothers you?
Well, I was on a cattle road, like it's probably this one, and
yeah.
but I just, you know,
Mind your own business.
Yeah, I don't fucking cause problems.
Yeah.
When I notice I'm getting close to a residence, I just cut back to the tracks.
Yeah, that's one of the tough parts with hunting because you're always carrying a gun, so it's like they're wondering what the heck are you doing out here shooting, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what those tracks were.
Yeah.
I had a hunt stuff for dogs, but there's nothing you can hunt with dogs out here, so I don't know if they're just...
No, they're somebody's dogs.
Hikers,
So I guess, you know, speaking to turkeys or whatever, they started barking. One of them had to bark like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And then so there's three of them.
Just start jogging at that point?
Well, no, I was minding my own business, thinking, you know, they're just gonna bark, and then I kind of see them, you know, through the sticks and stuff, coming down the driveway. You know, I got my bear spray. There's three of them, you know. But I was like, you know, I better get this on video, just to show I'm minding my own business.
Yeah.
So I started recording, and the dog that approached me was fucking nice as hell. It's super soft.
Yeah.
Pet me. But the one had an attitude.
Yeah.
But that one stopped at the gate, I think.
Have you run into any bears out here doing this? Have you done this stretch before? Or?
No, this is the first time I've done it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen a fox. That's the only.
I know this is their type of area. I just don't think that they frequent it.
Yeah.
Just because there's so much road noise and.
Well, I think it's too wide open too. Because
Yeah.
there's definitely no grizzlies out here, right?
No.
Yeah, and I think the black bears I'm familiar with, they like to stay in the shadows.
Yeah.
And you know, if you would hardly ever see them out in the open,
Out exposed
unless
like
there's berries. Then they might be.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any berries up here.
I think
is
all
there?
the huckleberries out here have been decimated.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any left here.
Yeah. So where I'm at, there's alpine blueberries. And they're so good. They always taste ripe.
Really?
They're so
That's
good.
cool.
But yeah, I've seen lots of bears foraging for those.
Yeah.
There's huckleberries, but there's way more blueberries. It's a video series. I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah? Awesome. What's that called?
nan-alive.
Man-alive?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to make my channel about like wilderness etiquette. So like, you know, don't burn the woods down, don't leave your trash.
Yeah.
Pick up, shut the gate, when you go by somebody's cattle gate.
Whatever you bring in, you pack out.
Yeah, because I try to give a little video of what it looks like before I set up, and then when I'm done, you might only see like where the fire was.
Yeah.
That's it.
Awesome, man. Right on, man. Well, you enjoy yourself, all right?
Yeah. What's your name?
Nick.
Nick.
Mason.
Mason.
Yep.
Hey, good luck hunting, guys.
Yep.
No problem, man.
Likewise. Oh, geez. Okay. All right. All right. I didn't know I was recording that whole time, but I just came across some hunters scouting the area. I chatted with them for a sec, but I was just about to rest anyway, so I'll do that now. All right. So I just got down to rest. I checked my message, and my wife responded, but I went to send her a message back, and it didn't connect. And I realized I don't have my Garmin InReach Mini handy, which means I must have left it at that other campsite or dropped it on the way. So I'm heading back, backtracking without my gear to find it. That's no bueno. But should be back at that campsite, which isn't that far. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Oh, wow. Whoa. That's that would have sucked, man. I wonder if there's a way to find it on the map. Like maybe from my phone I could have it ping itself. I gotta look into that. It's almost a valuable mistake, or expensive mistake, and a valuable lesson. Alright, I'm gonna actually head up to the cattle trail and meet back up to my gear that way instead of doing the tracks again. So, hi-ho! Alright, I'm going to recheck at that message sent now and make a plan for meeting my trail angel wife and get after it. Hi-ho! Alright, so I got my InReach back connected and sent the message. Sitting on this rock where I had some open view of the sky. I look down and I see that. Dude. Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho. Now I'm kind of contemplating if I should go back and get some water at that last spot. I should be backtracking the full way again. It's kind of silly. Oh wow, another thing. From here I can see a mudslide way up on that hill there. Alright, so I'm going to reconnect this to my pack, head up here until I get cliffed out or something, and then head back down to the tracks and finish this leg. Hi-ho! It's great when the water's flowing. It makes this season more manageable with good access to water all the time. But in the summer, these are all going to be dry, so it's going to be less awesome. I think maybe when I get to that shade over there, I'm going to take another rest, check my time hack and stuff. Right there's where I'll rest. Alright, so this is cliffed out. This is pretty bad. This is not passable. And I gotta get way down there. I think close to the other side of this bend where I need to get to the tracks. So I'm guessing I'm gonna head up this game trail, and on the other side of that hill will be the north side, and there might be a game trail through the woods to get out of here. If not, I'll have some backtracking to do. Alright, well, this might be the way around the washout, but it might be just getting re-cliffed out again. I'm kind of guessing it's option A, so I'm taking the chance of spending energy to think that it is. And even if it is, I might just get cliffed out again here in a moment. Okay, yeah, definitely getting spicy. Probably, if I get a safe chance, it's probably best just to get down to the tracks. I'm not going to call that a safe chance. I mean, it's doable. Likely doable, but it's not the safest option I think I'll find. And even this isn't the safest option I could be doing. So, I wonder if I should go down there. Nope. This is sometimes where wrong footing could be the last happy little accident you get to make. So, you're probably wondering, will this be the last time that you see nan-alive? I'm kind of wondering myself. This is getting spicy. Ooh, right there. I gotta get over there. I see it. So I kind of have to go down a little bit, but yeah, this is like the weight of my pack is making a difference. The bulk of it is also making a difference. I would like to get right in front of that tree. There's always a question mark when you're reaching for footing, because if you reach for it and it gives, you don't got a chance to re-step. But sometimes if you don't reach, you don't get it. Shady, shady. Nothing to trust for grabbing. Oh, the ground is giving. Right by a weak spot too. Should probably just go up. Yeah, this ground is soft and slippery, and it's giving. Oh no 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 no! That sucks. Let's let go of my pack. Fucker. Yeah, that sucks. This ground is really soft and giving and slippery, and doesn't hold a footing very good. And my balance is off because of my pack. And the branch was grabbing my pack and pushing me out. Oh, that's no bueno. If I come back this way, I'm not going to come back that way. Well, this is not the funnest part. The injury risk is probably the most risky spot I've done right there, as far as injury goes. But it might be what I have to do. I'm going to get to some shade and sit again. Check how far I have to go. Okay, right here. I'm gonna sit in the shade. Contemplate my life decisions. This part's kind of pretty, but it's not worth that risk that I took earlier. I think this is part that I can see from the road that I identified as there being a road here. So I'm coming around to the north side of this hill and I'm going to be in a thicket, and that should mean there's less landslide risk because there'll be more trees and roots stabilizing the soil, but also that it'll be rougher. There'll be more bushes and probably steeper. I don't think I'm going to be seeing snow yet, but if I do, it'll be around this bend of the higher elevation. That looks like some old bear poo. This is pretty steep and bushy. I see the access road that there's the bridge I need to get onto. Here's a little game trail. Oh yeah. This is wunderbar. This is wunderbar. Wunderbar. Wonderful. Ha ha ha. I don't see her car. This reminds me of being a kid. I used to cross a train trestle pretty regularly. And I believe, actually, I'm pretty certain it's the one that inspired the scene in Stand By Me from Stephen King. I heard a really cool story from the lady that knew him. Yeah, this doesn't scare me anymore. I've been on it when the train was coming and had to jump down and get underneath it before the train got to me, and the train would go right over us. Okay, so the time hack that she gave me would indicate that she is here already and I do not see her. So then it could be that she's in fact under the bridge, which is unlikely because the parking is better over there. That's where I am expecting to see her. Okay, she's not under the bridge. Isn't that nice? Something in the way. Alright, so now I gotta relax and send my wife a message. So apparently I'm not necessarily known for being the safest guy. So while I'm waiting for my wife, I'm trying something stupid.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, bud, that's good, buddy. Yeah, you're so brave. You're so brave. Yeah, look at that good buddy. Look at that big smile.